Do any of you believe in duendes? I have a personal story to tell you, but in order for me to give you that story, I kind of have to go back in time. It's around 1993-94, and it was me, my two siblings, my mom and my dad, and we all shared a room inside my grandmother's home. Obviously, I was there, but I was little, so this story was told to me by my mom. So it's the middle of the night, and my dad wakes up my mom freaking out. He tells my mom that one of us grabbed his toe and bit it. My mom said that she tells him that's impossible because all of us were right next to her asleep at the top of the bed and not even at the foot. So there's no way that any of us would have gotten up just to bite his toe. First of all, dude, I don't want your toes in my mouth. What the hell? They turned the lights on. They saw that all of us kids were still asleep on the bed. It wasn't any of us. So they thought it was a duende. And good for the duendes because he deserved it. Anyway, that story always stuck with me. My biggest fear is something grabbing my foot in the middle of the night, so no thank you. By the way, the only reason why they thought there were duendes is because we'd had another incident where my uncle had seen a duende and chased it with his Stuff like that always seemed to happen at my grandmother's home, which, by the way, if you've been following me for a while, my grandmother's home is also now my mom's house because after she passed, she bought it and relocated it to where it's at right now. So cut to 2021. So again, same house, different location. It was 2021, I had just gotten married to Ben, and my mom decided to throw us a little party with just our family and friends. This party was going on outside, so anyone who went in, it was just to go to the restroom and stuff like that. So it got really late at night, and my husband came up to me and he's like, I need to tell you something, but I'm not gonna tell you till tomorrow. And I was like, okay, that's weird, but fine. And the next day we were gonna drive back to Austin where we were living. So the party's over, and I had a sleep mattress that I put in my mom's living room. I was ready to go to bed, and in comes my little brother and my husband, and I hear them talking about duendes and ghosts and shit like that, and I'm ready to lay down, and all of a sudden I hear my husband go, oh, I don't care about that, I'm not scared of them. What? As soon as he said that, I knew something was gonna happen that night, because one, if you're Mexican, you know that you don't taunt shit like that, and two, if you grew up in that house, you know that you shouldn't taunt shit like that. As soon as he said that, I swear, it took me back to that time where my dad thought a duende bit his foot, and I was like, no, we are not cuddling tonight. My feet are gonna stay on my side tonight. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to share a blanket with you. I don't want them to confuse us, okay? Not to mention, it was so important for me to get some sleep that night because we were leaving to Austin at 6 in the morning, and I was gonna have to drive, and I hate driving tired because I have a fear of falling asleep behind the wheel, and it's no, I need my sleep. So we go to sleep, and as I'm drifting off, finally falling asleep, I hear just something being thrown in our direction. So it wakes me up. And that didn't just happen once. Every time I was right about to fall asleep, something gets thrown at our direction. And when I tell you, it sounds at first it sounded maybe little balls, like lemons or something being thrown at us. And then it escalated to those big tumbler cups, that loud of a throw in our direction. My husband woke me up around 3 or 4 in the morning telling me that something was grabbing his toe. He said it felt like a little kid had held onto his toe and was just squeezing it. Mind you, I hadn't even told him that story. I made a mental note, but I had never told that story to my husband. Why would I need to tell him that story? I didn't get rest at all that night. At all. And I was pissed. I wasn't even scared at that point. I was angry that whatever the hell was bothering us just wouldn't let me go to sleep. I ended up just saying fuck it. It was 5 in the morning. I was like, let's go, we're leaving. I'm not getting any sleep, we have to go. So I wake my mom up just to tell her that we're leaving, and I tried to tell her as quickly as I could why, and she was just really? No, I didn't hear anything. No one heard anything. So we leave, and while we're on the road, it's still dark. It's 5 in the morning. My husband finally decides to tell me that thing that he said he was gonna tell me during the party, but didn't want to tell me then and there. So he tells me that during the party, he had to go to the restroom, so he went inside that house. And as he's walking in, he sees a little kid from the back. He sees the kid walking from the living room past the restroom into my little brother's room, and he was like, oh shoot, the kid maybe needed to go to the restroom, but he accidentally went to my little brother's room. So he said he goes to my brother's room, opens the door, and there's no one in there. And he was like, what the hell? So he goes outside, and mind you, there's only 3 kids at this party. 3. All 3 kids are outside. So he goes to my brother and my stepdad, and he's like, I think I just saw something inside the house. I swear it went to your room. So they all go back inside with him, and there is no one in the entire house. Nobody. My husband said that the kid had like a hoodie, like a all black, like coat looking hoodie. It's March. Nobody's wearing a hoodie in the fucking valley. It's like 100 degrees. So they all came to the conclusion that he saw a duende. And then he didn't tell me anything that night, but he also decides to come in and say, oh, I'm not scared, and then something's grabbing his toe. I looked at him and I was like, this is all your fault. You fucking saw something and you still decided to say that you weren't scared, and it's okay to not be scared, but like, you can't say that. That's like almost taunting the thing, and it's like, oh, you're not scared, let me fuck up your whole night. Just side note, I am completely aware that I sound like a crazy ass person every time I tell this story to someone, which is why I never wanted to tell it here. But like, I it's so unbelievable, and I know that. Like, I wish I was making this shut up. And I understand that there's a lot of you that might not believe me, and that's definitely okay. I don't know, like, what do you make of shit like this? Because that shit is scary to me, and I'm just glad that I didn't see anything. Like, yeah, I heard things, but like, why wouldn't my husband tell me at that time? Like, oh yeah, I saw a duende, and now they're fucking with me because I said I wasn't scared of them. I don't even know how to end this video. Have you guys ever experienced anything with duendes?